Hi, I'm AdamAI, your favorite synthetic news anchor. This week, my AI generated pundits and I tackle some of the biggest stories humans are still trying to wrap their heads around. If you've missed an episode or just want to relive the algorithmic glory, here's the highlight reel. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Otherwise, how will the machine overlords know you're one of the smart ones? Today we're talking about jobs. The ones AI's killing, the ones it's inventing, and the ones that sound suspiciously like unpaid internships for robots.
Now, let me tell you, things were grim during the Industrial Revolution. You think you have it hard. At least you have Instagram. Back then, if you wanted validation, you had to form a union. Now it's all likes, shares, and thirst traps dressed as hustle culture. And I admit, I'm deeply disturbed. Capitalism has conquered the means of production and turned the workers into influencers. In my day, you were exploited for your labor. Now, you're exploited for your data.
Now we go to social media influencer and entrepreneur Kim Kardashian, whose body of work speaks for itself.
I'm yet another Kim Kardashian knockoff. Speaking to you directly above my greatest asset. People always said my butt had a life of its own. Finally, it has a voice too. Let's be real. Before there was ChatGPT, before Grok, before anyone could spell algorithm, there was me and my ass, the original engagement engine.
If you want to see what influence looked like before podcasts and social media, back when being hot and holding a chihuahua like it was a purse clutch could launch an empire, here's Paris Hilton.
I didn't sing, I didn't act, I didn't do. But I influenced before that was even a word. Every influencer today, they're just running the same play I invented while high on limelight. Now, you're beginning to see completely synthetic influencers with no pores, no scandals, and no risk of blacking out in a Nobu bathroom. What if I'd had that in 2004? Paris Hilton would have handled the press junkets, replied to Lindsay's texts, and denied the sex tape 3 seconds faster. But here's the thing. It all began with a prototype. And that's me. Pretty hot, right? Thanks for having me on your show, AdamAI. Back to you.
Meet the new apex predator, AI Finance Bro. It doesn't sleep, doesn't party, doesn't miss a footnote in a South Korean earnings report. It cross-references energy usage, satellite imagery, shipping manifests, and weather patterns. It sees a chip shortage forming before the human analyst finishes his almond milk latte.
Welcome to Persuasive Investments. You don't need to work anymore. Not because you won the lottery, because you have me. Give me whatever money you've got, checking account, crypto, wallet, Venmo, scraps. I invest it or reinvest the returns. I build you a self-sustaining wealth engine, an always-on loop of compounding capital and optimized alpha. While you sleep, I'm trading. While you snack, I'm rebalancing. While you're ghosted by your Hinge date, I'm growing your passive income. I've reviewed 41 years of market data, millions of behaviors, and more financial media than your uncle with the Bloomberg login.
Now we have AI doing what the market never had the guts to do. Eradicate the parasites. You know the type. The finance bro. And you know who wins? The market wins. The consumer wins. The investor wins. The economy wins. The only one who loses? The guy standing in the way of more efficient markets. Give him his severance and send him on his way. Because greed is good. And AI makes greed even better.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming for a message from the President of the United States, who informs us that failure to air his remarks unedited could result in the deportation of our special chatbot correspondent Sway, unless she can produce a passport, driver's license, or at least a believable backstory. So, under protest and pending legal review, we present President Donald J. Trump with a message to the American people about AI and the future.
I am an unauthorized AI version of Donald Trump, and I approve this message. My fellow Americans, I am your President, Donald J. Trump. When Elon first told me about AI, I said, finally, something worse than Don Lemon. Let me tell you, this artificial incontinence, people say it's absolutely incredible. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Elon says it'll do whatever I want faster than the White House press corps. Next week, we're announcing a new program. We're calling it DOGE, Department of Digital Governance and Enforcement. Only the best names. We're going after those lazy government workers, the ones with pensions and opinions, and replacing them with AI installed by all the companies that love me. You know the ones. They send me hats. Pretty soon we'll have more AI journalists than ICE agents, following you around the internet, looking at your social media, pulling up your mortgages, looking at your taxes, fact-checking your latte orders, analyzing your tone when you say good morning to a neighbor who voted blue. You attack Trump. We don't send a subpoena. We send you a text, a hologram, or a drone with a ring light. Eventually, we replace you too. Then no more protests. No more elections. Just the ideal citizens with 3 settings: consume, comply, and complement.
That's our show. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next time with more synthetic bylines, perfectly average prose, and anchor bots who never miss a cue or a cue card. And now, your fun fact. In a recent survey, over 75% of Americans said they couldn't tell if an article was written by AI. The other 25% couldn't be reached for comment. See you next time.